never done this before.
Very first time podcast.
Well, how are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great.
How's life post Apple?
The greatest thing ever. Mental health is so much higher since then. Man, like I want to go back. I get nightmares just thinking
You
about.
wanna go back?
Huh?
You want to go back?
No. I get
You don't wanna
nightmares
go back.
thinking of going back. I don't even want to go near Apple store. I don't even want to look up anything Apple related.
Wait, hold on. When did you leave officially?
It'll be January, so 2 months ago.
You haven't been in an Apple store since then?
I've been in an Apple store, haven't looked up anything Apple. I didn't even, I knew the Vision Pro was going to release on a certain day because I was still working when they were talking about it. But I didn't look up anything when the release date came out. Anything that came about the Vision Pro was unwillingly on Twitter or like TikTok or something.
Yeah. Damn. Not one thing. You haven't.
I do not miss it.
Oh, yeah. This is Ray.
Former Apple employee.
How do you want to be identified? I'm Ray.
I'm Ray. Former Apple employee. That's how it is.
Okay, that's what it is then. Why did you get let go? Why did they feel the need to let you go? Because I was shocked when you told me.
It would just be more so like I was not very as ass kissy with the management towards like they would want me to do things and like, oh, like this is an incentive to like get promoted and things like that. And it's just like, I'm not going to go the extra mile to do something underhanded. I didn't want to deal with like the underhandedness of the things that they wanted me to do where it's like, oh, like I'm performing well and this and that, but it's like, oh, but like your teammates are not performing well. How can we get you to do that? And it's like, that's kind of your job.
So they were basically trying to get you to do lead shit as a specialist.
Yeah, essentially.
And then they get mad when you don't?
Yeah.
That's some shit. Who even told you? I guess we can't fucking.
No, I can't name drop some people, even though I wish I could.
On a scale of like 1 to 10 overall, how would you rank it working at Apple, the experience of?
I'm gonna have to break this down into two things.
Okay.
Because if I break this down into like if I put both things together, it's gonna be a really weird score. It's gonna be unfair to some people. But like I'm gonna break it down to the employees, so like my colleagues that I worked with personally, and then management. If we're talking about on the colleague side, I was a 12 out of 10. Those are some of the greatest people I have ever like interacted with and spent a lot of time with, as I had to work a lot. So it was like, these were some of my best friends. Like we would talk all the time. I would see these people every single day and be like, yo, like, I know I just seen you, but like, I feel like I haven't seen you. And so like, that was like always the greatest of energy. In terms of like on the other end, where it's like the management, the higher ups, I'm gonna have to give that like a 3. Cause it just was like, they're always trying to come off the fact that like, oh, we're trying to support you. We're trying to help with your development and growth. And it's really like, no, like you see the growth and development and you can't twist and turn it in the way that you want to. So now it's like, oh, we can't use and abuse you as we have done to these other people that have gotten to the places that you want to get to. So we are now going to treat you differently because you don't want to bend to our will.
When you like first were applying, like what made you want to work there in the beginning?
Essentially, I've always been in love with Apple. I've always had Apple products. Very first Apple product I ever had was an iPod Nano, blue one. Got that as a Christmas gift when I was like 9 years old. Grandmother gave it to me. Very, very precious gift. I still have that. It still plays music. I have like 120 songs on it. Sometimes I'll just be like, let me go down memory lane, see what I used to listen to. But like, I've always been infatuated with Apple's like innovation and how they have essentially built these products and the way they have built these products to be used in a magnitude of ways to where it's like, yeah, I have a watch, but this watch can be used for multiple of things compared to like a Fitbit, where a Fitbit is locked into one thing, or like a G-Shock. People used to have G-Shocks all the time. It was like, it's a fancy watch. You can play a game on some of them, but like Apple Watch, I could play a game on it. I could tell the time. I can make a phone call. I can text.
When did you start feeling like, oh, or did you have that feeling before you got let go? Like, oh, I kind of want to dip. Like, I'm not feeling it anymore.
Oh man, that's a hell of a story.
We got time.
That's a hell of a story. This all accumulated in September of 2022. So like almost
What? I didn't know you want to quit that long. I know we joked about it, but like I didn't think it was like serious. I was like, I want to leave, but I can't. I don't have the balls to leave right now.
It was so deep rooted way back because I applied for a role. I applied for a role. I waited a month and a half for the role to be told, for like them to tell me like, hey, we're gonna look for other people. We're moving forward with other people. And then it's like the real nail in the coffin was like, I got told this on a Thursday, and the person who got it over me came in on a Saturday. Like, so it was like a 2-day period of like, where it just felt like y'all already probably had this person and told them like they were getting it, and y'all just forgot about me and was just like, oh wait, we got to tell him like he didn't get it. So yes.
That's fucked.
And so from like that point, I started to just like slowly decline in performance. And it was just like, oh, like, people, like, I would have certain people ask me, like, is everything okay? And I'm just like, yeah, like, not like management, but like my coworkers, because they knew, like, this is not the person that we know. And it's just like, yo, what's going on with him? Like, let's check in on him, see what's going on. And it's just like, I didn't want to talk about it for like months, because it just devastated me to wait almost 2 months to be told no. And then it's like, the person that was told yes, to see them 2 days later in person is just like, that's just like a slap in the face to me.
That's fucked. What stops you from like doing it then?
I would say it was really more so like my sister. I talked to her a lot about stuff, and so she was kind of just like, don't quit yet, like give it some time, work through it. Things may or may not go well, figure it out, and we'll go from there. And so like I pushed forward for a little longer, and then it was a lot of highs, a lot of downs as I proceeded to go through for up until when I was let go.
Is there anything that could be done, or are you just past the point of wanting to return? Like, is there anything Apple could do to get you to start working there again?
They would have to wipe out the hierarchy of the management there. It's not really the leads and the managers, because they are more so influenced by the hires, the higher up ones at the store, that kind of trickles down to now being kind of like more rough on and tough on us about things, where it's like, hey, like you'd have like the managers that you were just like know are like cool and chill and like not really like that, come up to you and just like be so like rough and rude. And it's like, yo, like, I know this is not you.
Do you feel like Apple specialists are actually more educated than the typical Apple fanboy or the website?
That's a very like yes and no on a case by case basis, because they don't hire based on experience, knowledge, previous work conditions. Like, they hire based off of personality, which is good at times, but not great at times, because like, yeah, you may have a great personality, but you might not know anything technology wise. And it's like, oh, but we'll teach you and everything like that. But I don't think y'all teach that well. Like, I knew a lot about Apple beforehand, because I was like the Apple person of my family, and I was like an Apple person in high school, to where it's like people would have like issues with their like phones or iPods, and I'd be like, yo, like, I know how to do this. Like, give me a computer, we can reset you and do all of this and get that squared away and everything like that. And so it's like, they hire these people where it's like, you'll get somebody like me, you'll get somebody who's a little bit less than me, and you get somebody who's far off from me, to where it's like, how did you, like, you'll sit there and question, like, how did you get hired? But then it's like, I've been through the interview process of being a specialist, and I know how you got hired. Like, you have a personality that beams through, but you don't have the knowledge and the prerequisite to be able to give some information towards. Like, I've had customers like come in, and I overhear their conversations with other specialists, and I'm like, yo, this dude talks like he knows more than you, and generally he probably does, because you're not that great at your job. When I got hired, like, did the modules for like a week, and then it was like, oh, we're gonna have you reverse shadow. I didn't reverse shadow anybody.
I reverse shadow for like 30 minutes, and then they were like, okay, you're gonna try, and then they went off to the fucking toilet or something.
Yeah, like, no, I didn't, like, there's like, oh, we're gonna partner with this person, and then that person disappeared because they went to their lunch. And so they were just like, I think you got it, which I luckily did, but that's just not good for anybody, because I could have just really like just walked up to the next customer and just ruined everything of that customer's life.
Dude, I accidentally gave away, I think, a MacBook for free. Their card declined, and I let them walk out.
With the computer?
It's the computer, because it didn't show up on the fucking reader. You know, it like takes a second, and people are in like a rush, and it was like the day I got onto floor training in that old store. That was like small and cramped, and I was like, oh wait, hold on, it has to go through. He's like, okay, it's fine, it's credit. I'm like, Okay,
Yeah, like, all right, cool. You don't want a receipt? Like,
declined. No email, nothing. And I
oh,
watched him leave, and I forgot who it was, and they're like, "Are you supposed to be on the floor?" And I was like, "No, I'm supposed to be reverse shadowing." They're like, "Yeah, you shouldn't be using an Isaac if you're reverse shadowing." I'm like, "I don't know what an Isaac is. Don't put me on the floor day one. That's just."
yeah, like it's like, oh yeah, we're just let them
They
have it.
must lose merchandise like that. I can't be the only one.
No, I'm pretty sure other people have done that. I know, like when like people picked up online orders, some people weren't ringing it out. They were just running it out and then just handing it to people. And it was like, yo, like you just let like 7 people walk out with some expensive ass shit, and they can just straight up cancel the order and be like, oh, I never went to pick it up. Now they got the shit. Like, and there's no countermeasurement to fix that. I would just say like for especially for customers, like come in, specialist helps you, treat them a little better because their days are probably horrible already just because of management being on their ass because of, hey, what about what Apple Care? Hey, your numbers, this and that. Like, money, 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 money. It's like, so it's like coming in and just like giving them a rough time really just does not help them because like I said, people will come in on like their wildest attitudes, like, oh, I got a flight in 40 minutes. We're 40 minutes from LAX. I think you might want to get on the plane. Like, don't, like, you got to check your bags in, get the TSA, like.
Your priorities are in the wrong place.
Yeah, you're probably, like, you should have came, like, the day before or something like that. It's not going to take you that long to come into Apple, like, especially if you get somebody who knows what they're doing. They're going to get you in and out really quick. And if you do get mad at them and speak to a manager, the manager is then gonna like solve that issue because sometimes we will tell you like, no, that's not a possible thing, and then the management will try to like back and be like, oh, no, we actually do that. No, we don't. I can pull up an article right now that can tell you that. Like I've had that happen to me where it's like, oh no, we don't, like I know for a fact we don't do that. Let me speak to your manager. Manager goes to the manager. Manager's like, oh no, we can do that. Dude, you're making me look bad right now. I was like, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna pull up this Hello article and show you right in front of the customer. So now I don't look like a jackass to this customer because you look like a jackass for making me look like a jackass. That's part of the reason why they didn't like me, because of just doing stuff like that, where it's like, oh, he's just gonna bend back and let us roll over him. No, like I'm not gonna have this customer thinking that I was being a dick when it was like, no, like I'm doing my job as I was trained to do, and you are now making it seem like all that training I did was incorrect.
I mean, I don't think they realize like that makes them look bad just as much as it. I mean, the customer's not gonna say that to them, but it's gonna reflect badly on the store, not just you. They're putting the blame on you for nothing. Oh my god, the fucking reviews on Google Maps, dude.
Man,
That was great.
Them reviews are hilarious.
And they're pretty accurate.
Yeah. Some of them are accurate. Then you get a couple that are just like off the bat's crazy. Where it's like, oh, like remember the one I sent you about the Annie or whatever their name was, and they were being like super racist.
Yeah,
oh,
okay,
like
yeah,
rapper style clothing smells like marijuana, this and that. Like nobody smokes on Apple. Like best believe, like I know somebody who got fired because their fucking like vape fell out accidentally on the floor.
What?
Yeah. They didn't even take the vape or anything. It just happened to fall off on the floor, and somebody caught it, and that was wraps.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's a little extreme.
Yeah.
But shit, I mean.
So
yeah,
they I'm pretty sure they take the drugs heavily responsibly. So like, you come in high off some weed, they're gonna smell that. This might be your last day.
Did you like being backstage whenever you were chosen to be?
Oh, when I was chosen backstage, that was a blast of time. That's a blast of a time. That's a whole different world. The people in backstage are some of the most chillest, coolest people that you will ever interact with. And so that's why when people were like, wow, that product came out fast. Yeah, because they want to get right back off this floor. They don't want to be on this floor longer than they need to be. Like, oh, like you're like, oh yeah, I want this phone. Okay, cool. Order the phone. 30 seconds later, it's in my hand. Whoa, where'd that come from? Backstage, because they want to get this product in my hand and get back to their own world as soon as they can.
And they're so fucking busy back there too. Like they have good reason to be off the floor.
Yeah, they have all the shipment coming in, all the stuff they need to organize. They have to find lost and stolen stuff. So like they're very busy, but they are the most amazing people to ever interact with. I love those people. Treat those people like you would treat a specialist.
Well, you got any plans to go back to Apple?
To an Apple store or to work for an Apple store?
Both.
To an Apple store only if I need to. If my phone is broke or they come out with an iPad or like a new iPad mini or like them AirPod Maxes, yeah. But then at the same time, I might just order this shit and just have them deliver it to me. 2-hour delivery.
It's very nice. I do that.
If I don't need to like 100% walk into there where it's like I can order this online to where it's like I don't need to get any of my products fixed, I probably would never step into an Apple store again. Unless I wanted to go see my friends or something like that. I'd be like, oh, I want to pass by and I want to see such and such. I haven't seen them in so long. But at the same time, like, dude, just meet me somewhere outside of Apple.
Yeah, that's how I felt when I would come visit like you guys. Like I'd go to the Grove a lot, and then I don't want to go back in because it just feels awkward.
I've been to the Grove several times since being let go. But like I'm going to movie theaters, I'm going to Barnes and Nobles. I make it my or Nike, I make it my mission to not walk in front. I will walk around. I don't want anybody to see me here, like, cause then they're gonna try to have a conversation with me, or I'll see a manager and they'll give me a nasty look and it's like, I'm gonna play this game with you. Like, I will play chicken with you and I will look you dead in your eyes until you are uncomfortable. I will stand there because you can't call security on me for just staring you in the eyes. I'm not disturbing you. I'm outside the building.
You know, I got kicked out of the Grove.
Kicked out.
You were definitely gone, I think. Me and a couple friends took a Harry Styles poster.
I remember you telling me you were gonna do that. That was
Melanie fucking took photos of that shit, like outside coming back from her break, and you fucking know who comes out, goes on the fucking mic, and then what do I know? Apparently we're all over security, and it was just Harry Styles, like a cutout of Harry Styles with an Apple shirt on in a bag that was full of like free iPhone 15 cases. And it was off to the side. It was on like a lamppost in between the Apple store and that sushi place.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Kicked us out.
I seen how that person was with everybody else, but like me and that person were kind of cool.
That's fucked up, man.
Which is like random as hell. Like people would be like, yo, like I do not like this person, and I'm kind of like,
it's not even like
I kind of like the person.
It's not even I don't like them. It's like I don't understand what I did wrong and why you hate me so much.
From my understanding and what someone has told me, they don't like people who they deem can't do their job.
I did it fine.
Which I don't know how much that speaks to, because there were some people that clearly could not do their job and they were super cool with that person. And that person recently got fired. I am happy that person got fired because
she got fired?
No.
Oh.
No. They still worked there, but I'm talking about the person that was horrible at their job, but they liked them. And like that person should have got fired because that person assaulted me. And I made a whole report about it, and that person still had their job. Like they full on pushed me. It was on camera. They had the recording of it and everything like that. And
what the fuck?
And it was just like, oh, like
we can cut this out. We don't need to, unless you wanted him.
No, like that. I would personally like them to go somewhere. Okay. Because that person should have gotten fired a long time ago. Like they recently got fired for whatever reason they got fired for. But like to assault someone and then for them to just like shrug it off and be like, oh, we'll get some time out for you guys to like have a conversation and like, but like we never had that conversation. We never patched things out. And like I still genuinely did not like that person. And that person would try to talk to me sometimes. It's like, no, don't have a conversation with me. If you do not direly need to have a conversation with me, do not speak to me. And I have told managers that, and other people knew that I was assaulted, and they spoke up about it to management. Management was like, oh no, that's not what happened, this and that. But it's like that is what happened. Why would I lie about being pushed when like this store has like 40 cameras in here to see every single angle? There's not a blind spot in this store. You have it in 4K. 4K, 60 FPS. You can zoom in on that shit and get a clear look at my face and his face and see that, oh, like, yeah, he pushed me. It was like, oh, like, you kind of were close to him and this and that. The store was busy on a Sunday in the afternoon. It was loud in the store.
Was it like a
It was a full-on shove.
what the fuck? And how did they let that go?
Because that person was a very favorite of Cloud and the store manager. Where they would, I have seen them.
Specialist?
Yeah, it's a specialist. I
fuck?
have like randomly just like walked around on a lunch break and seen that person hanging out with them like on a lunch break.
They fucking got
Where
no
it's just
life.
like okay, like I'm seeing that this person is a clear favorite and this is real fucked. Cause yeah, like, oh yeah, he assaulted you. We have full proof of it. You made a report, but we can just ignore that. And it's like, no, like that's real fucked up. Also, actually, now that I think about it, that store very horribly handled racism. I dealt with a lot of racism, specifically from customers and specifically from a manager who is not there anymore.
I think I was with you when someone said something racist to you.
Probably, like it's happened 20 plus times in working there. And like I one time came into work, I had a bandana on. Like, I know their whole thing was like, you can wear a hat, you can wear like scarves and stuff like that, but it can't be designed. I had a black bandana, no design. It was just black. Had it like tied around like here. And I had that manager tell me to take it off because they didn't want people to think I was associated with a gang. Super, super racist for a bandana that's just black. And for you to say like, you don't want people to think I'm from a gang? So you think I'm from a gang? You think I'm gangbanging at work? You have people wearing cowboy hats. Cowboy hat is not part of religion. I wasn't allowed to wear a Santa Claus hat when we were open on Christmas Eve because of religious beliefs. And like, I've had other team members tell me before, like previous years, before a certain someone came in, that they were allowed to wear Christmas hats and stuff like that on New Year's Eve or Christmas Eve. Everything turned upside down when that person came in.
How the fuck did they get a flagship store then? Caruso. That's right. That's it. That has to be it. That's gotta be it.
That's the only thing I can think of, honestly. Like,
Did you get a clap out?
no.
No. On purpose, or you just didn't get one?
Probably on purpose.
Fucking, I snuck out. I was meant to leave at 3, and I told one of the managers, like, I'm gonna go and enjoy my lunch and not come back. And she's like, oh, you should tell store manager. And I was like, nah, I've tried to get her attention all day. I'm gonna just leave.
She has very big moods where it's like
She saw me too. Like, we made full eye contact, and I was like,
so sometimes very, very cool, very nice person, sometimes just a really bad person. We were cool at one point. We were like super, super cool, super close and everything like that. And it's just like one day it's just like pop up and it's just like, you just hated my guts. And you just treated me like I was like the worst thing that ever happened. Like you treated me like the plague. Like I was the black sheep. And I was honestly hurt by that because I thought we had such of a good connection that would not come to that. But now I kind of understand why the managers are like that, because if the managers can be like that, then why would the store manager not be like that? There's no reason a leader should not be saying something to somebody on their last day. Whether it be negative or bad, negative, good, bad, whatever, like you should have some words for me. Some words. And to sit here and look me in my eyes and tell me, no, that is horrible leadership. You have to get it together.
that's why you don't work at the Grove. Other Apple stores are fine. It's not the Grove.
Literally. I've worked at other Apple stores temporarily, and they were so much nicer. I went to Santa Monica for like a week, like because they needed help. Oh my God, that was such a breath of fresh air. The management was very nice. The people were very nice. I even talked to some of the people that I knew who worked there because they were in the core that I was in, like on the computer and everything like that. And so I kind of like had them to the side. I was like, yo, so like, how is management here? Like give me the real. And like their viewpoints were like what I wish I could have said about my own management, to where it's like, these people feel supportive. These people feel like actual human beings. These people don't just straight up ignore you and break down a pre-established relationship that you had with them.
It seems like we got fucked with the store that we chose, man.
Yeah, man.
I don't remember any Apple store being like that.
I should have applied for a different store.
Yeah, I should have stuck with the Topanga store. Damn. All right, well, shit. Well, thank you for being on the first episode.
Yeah,
Hopefully, this
yeah.
doesn't get any of us in trouble.
Nah, we'll be fine. We'll be fine.